Well, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we are joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey player with the Port Huron Prowlers of the Federal Prospects Hockey League, Ben Brockway. Ben has spent the last 2 years with the Port Huron Prowlers in the Fed, but before his professional debut last year, he spent time with Worcester State University in NCAA Division III, and then 3 years before that with Bethel University. And before he made his college debut as well, he spent time in junior hockey in the EHL with Team Maryland and the OJHL with the Cougars. And you're from the Arizona area, so I'm excited to dive into what hockey was like in Arizona, going to juniors, going to college, then finally making your pro debut. So Ben, I'm really excited to get you on the show. So welcome to the show, Ben Brockway.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jack. Great to be on here today, brother.
Yeah, of course. It's an episode that we've been in talks for the last couple weeks. So glad our schedules have been able to be finalized to come on the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I want to start off with like let's just jump into the pro days since you're in Port Huron right now and it's starting to become a little bit of a playoff push right now. So like what's this season been like for you in Port Huron? Because it's your second year in Port this year. So like what's it been like to just be in Port Huron and really grow in Port?
Yeah, man. This place is so special to me. We've throughout the years there's just been a real solid culture that's built, and this year we really have we're so deep, and we just have so many guys that are willing to come to the rink every day and put their best foot forward and do whatever it takes to get better.
Yeah, so like what do you think it's like obviously you just said the culture and like Paulie and Grammer and all those and Johnson, they all run like a tight ship there and like a ship that you want to be a part of. So like how special, like what makes it so special besides like the culture and guys just wanting to be there every day?
Yeah, I think really like this team has the highest care factor of any that I've ever been on, specifically this year. I just think we consistently have guys step up and further the role that they play on this team, and just like getting dressed every day next to your brothers, knowing that they'll do anything for you. If someone takes a liberty on you out there, like you're gonna have 17 other guys that are more than willing to answer the bell. And I just think like we play a style that we need to be a tight knit team to play and execute well. And I think that like I just said this in the room the other day, like it's like we're not a tight knit team like just because we hang out all the time after practice or whatever. We're a tight knit team because we consistently prove to each other that we're willing to do whatever it takes to win and protect each other and drive the best out of each other.
Yeah, and that's what you need to be a successful team and just like that close knit team like you said, all together, not just like hanging out, but like being there for each other and everything that you just said and like that's what really takes it takes a village. So if everyone buys in, that's it's going to be a successful time when you're playing like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that like culture and the character in the room is like one day I want to coach, and that'll be the thing that
Yeah.
I put highest on my list as well. Like, you need your skill guys, you need guys playing in that role for sure, and we have that. But just like top to bottom, I think if you have really good people in your room and guys that are just willing to push the envelope every day, then you're going to make each other better, and in return, the whole group gets better.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But compared to from like your first year in the pros to this year, your second year, like what have you seen from like your development standpoint of just because you played 32 games last year, you're at 32 games this year, and you have the same amount of points that you did last year. So like what's that development been like and that comfortability to just settle into the pro game in your second year?
Yeah, I think like your first year in any league, like, you're you're trying to find your way and um, like kind of getting used to like the travel schedule of pro. Obviously, that's so much different than like college or junior. Um, so I just think you get a little bit more like kind of sure on your feet as far as like how things go. Um, and like I just can't credit the guys around me enough for helping me out here the past 2 years. Like there's always guys that are willing to stay out after practice and work on things and just pick each other's brain on what we're seeing on the ice. So that's that's the people around me have been instrumental in like helping me adapt to the pro game for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome to have guys like that just to be around because like you're getting better every day because you're wanting to go to work every day with those guys and you're wanting to battle for the guy next to you and like it's a like we said it's a culture that you want to be a part of at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, but like what have been some of your favorite moments from your last 2 years in Port Huron?
Um, like there's so many, but I think like just how in Port Huron there's always an incentive to like to push the envelope and like I said, get better every day. And our staff does a tremendous job at ensuring that all of us are able to do that. Like I think that on a week by week basis, our schedule is so dialed in, and that's something that has always gone a long way for me when coaches are very like attentive to everyone and just have like a set plan for each week that we go into. We adapt quite a bit, like to each team we're playing every week, and as you know, like the guys in the room, they create. We all create the memories together. So
Yeah.
whether it's long bus trips or long roadies, like it's just surreal for me to be a part of the team and like try to impact people as much as I can.
Yeah, that's what makes like you're sure you're gonna remember when you're on the ice, but the times you're really gonna remember the off the ice moments, like the bus trips, like you said, the road trips, just go on those week long roadies with the boys. Like there's nothing better than that, especially if your bus breaks down, like the memories from there.
Oh yeah, we've had a few bus breakdowns for sure, and like it's amazing how like it sucks in the moment, but you're like, hey, I'm with my brothers, so
Yeah.
it could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Could be stranded somewhere else by myself, but I'm with the boys and we're just gonna make a good time out of it no matter what.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, but for going from your college days to your pro days, like what have been some of like the biggest things you've learned to really like help you stand out in the professional world?
Yeah, I think like my awareness since college to pro has definitely taken steps. Like I think like the college game is like real run and gun and um just like everyone's like moving 1,000 miles an hour all the time. And I find that the pro game is a lot more controlled. Like you need to have more patience to your game and like as a D, always be shoulder checking because there's guys that are highly skilled and pretty sneaky, so you don't want anyone getting behind you. Um, and also, like a very simple thing, but I think it's often overlooked is like stick positioning. As a D, that's something that I try to hone in on a lot, and like whether it's on the PK or 5-on-5, like just making sure I'm in a good spot between the dots and have an active stick.
Yeah, that's it's the small details that separate you from everyone else. So if you dial in those and work on it every day, like you're gonna find that success and it's gonna be a lot easier to transition from that college game to that pro game.
For sure.
Yeah, but like playoff hockey is always a different atmosphere, especially once you get past the regular season. and you guys went on a run last year. So like, what was that run like for you guys, and like how fun it was playing playoff hockey in the Fed, especially when everything gets a lot more intense and everything happens with emotions run high, like everything like that happens.
Yeah, man. Like I noticed this like right away last year. Um, After Christmas, I think the league changes so much. Like everyone just every team gets more intense. Every team adds some pieces, and the physicality really picks up. Um, like so then like and we try to really hammer that like all year, um, just like with our practice habits and whatnot. But there's a definite level up in playoffs, and last year we had a couple real emotional series that it took everyone for sure. Like last year we came up a little short, and I think it left all of us that like who knew we were coming back, like it left us really hungry and just ready to have a good off season and get back to work here this year. And that's kind of that's kind of been like the tape so far, just letting that burn from last year drive us.
Yeah, you got a taste of it, and that everyone's competitive, so everyone wants to get back to where it was and go above and beyond, and everyone wants to finish to be the last team. So you just that's what you work for every day when you come down to work, especially in those dog days when you know how it is in January when you have to get up and you're sore. You don't want to go to the gym, go to practice even, but you just get up because you want to get back to that memory.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said for um, like just in those dog days, like you said, like consistently proving to yourself that you're like you can tough out what's going on in your
Yeah.
mind, sore legs, sore back, whatever it is. Like when you just get up day after day and stick to your process, it makes a huge difference down the road for you. You reap the fruits of your labor, at a later date. Like it sucks in the moment, but
Yeah.
you know that you've been through it before and you've conquered your mind.
Yeah, you can get through anything if you get through that, and you just got to keep going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I want to jump into your college days a little bit here. You spent like two and a half years with Bethel University, and then you went to Worcester State for your last year. Like, what was that whole college hockey experience like for you, and just at first going to Bethel and then making that change to Worcester State?
Yeah. So when I was in Maryland, the COVID year, playing for TM, I was talking to a few schools, and Bethel just ultimately like felt like where I should end up. I love my conversations that I had with the coaches. They spoke life into me and just really like fired me up about the program. And I really enjoyed my time there. I thought the MIAC was a really good conference too. Like a lot of null guys, a lot of guys from Canadian Junior. Like I thought it was a pretty heavy conference, which kind of suits my style of play. Um, and the development at Bethel was second to none. Like playing at the super rink there. There's like 8 sheets of ice. There's a off ice training facility, so it was really nice to have that. Um, and then going into my my year at Worcester State, I just like there's just like some personal reasons that I felt like a move was needed to be made for my last year. So I actually had a really good buddy at Worcester State tell me about like their culture and like what they were trying to build, and it was just really appealing to me. And so I made the trek out east there, and like it was first class organization at Worcester State. Like I really enjoyed that year, and I can't speak highly enough about both schools that I went to. I think I made the decision to leave Bethel, but I think that God has a plan for all of us, and it felt like the right move in my heart to make it at the time. Like I got a little more playing time at Worcester State. Felt like it was going to be better for me moving on to the pro game to make that decision.
Yeah. So like what did you learn when making that move to Worcester State that really like got you to play a little more and then you really got into you were able to really adjust getting into the lineup and really being a mainstay guy for Worcester State.
Yeah, I definitely like I had some things that I needed to work on um to expand into a bigger role. And when talking with our coach at Worcester State, Jay Punske at the time, he's not there anymore, but he's just real honest with me on the phone and told me what I needed to do that summer to, be where I wanted to be in the lineup. And um, I worked really hard that summer. Just kind of put all my eggs in one basket because I was like, all right, like I know that I know that I had pro aspirations at that time as well, obviously, and I knew that it was kind of like a big make or break year, so needed to put my best foot forward.
Yeah, and you put that step forward, and you had a successful year at Worcester State. But like going back to like your time at Bethel, like obviously everyone goes through adversity. Like it's not one straight linear line. Like you're gonna have bumps and forks in the road that you're gonna have to overcome. So like what did that adversity teach you throughout your time at Bethel, especially when you're not playing as much and you have to really focus on like practices to make your habits and get your habits to be better and get you to be better overall.
Yeah, so the first year I was at Worcester State, it was the COVID year, so we only actually ended up playing like I think it was 8 games that year, um, and I I like broke my hand in our I think it was our second to last game of the season. Um, so like that season, that off season, I went to do it with a cast and like really had to hammer the rehab and stuff to feel like my strength was all the way back. Um, so that was definitely some adversity there. Um, and then my second year, so my sophomore year, I played quite a bit that year. Like I thought we had a real solid season. Towards the end of the year, I actually had some real problems with my labrum and my shoulder. So I got surgery that off season. Um, and that was like one of those times in my career where I just like really had to stay present and just lock into the process because it kind of felt never ending at
Yeah.
times, just like all that time in the training room. Um, but yeah, worked through it. And then my third year at Bethel, um, just like it was kind of felt like I was like in and out of the lineup and really, like you said, just had to hammer things home in practice and stay diligent. And I think it's so important to have a short memory in hockey, and like that's something that I feel like I struggled with at the time there. I would be like, why am like everyone falls into it like why am I being the one scratched right
Yeah.
now? And like you kind of feel like you're undeserving of it. And then ultimately I was just like, man, like you got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like nobody's coming to save you in that aspect. So I just took it upon myself and did everything I could that summer to make sure that I could have a fresh start at Worcester State and just like play the game that I know I can.
Yeah, you got to write your own story. Like you said, you can't feel sorry about yourself. Like no one's gonna help you except yourself. So you really gotta write your own story, go as hard as you can at practice, go 100% every time, and then you really just like adjust to like and also like be willing for criticism as well. Because like I think that's what a lot of people shy back on is criticism and then shutting down. Where it's like you need to take that criticism and then really apply that to your game when you're practicing and then apply it to your games as well.
100%. Like I think your your development as a hockey player really relies a lot on you being a sponge. Like
Yeah.
the more that you can take in and realize that when a coach gets on you, um, like time after time. It's not because he doesn't like you as a human. He just wants to drive the most out of you and see you hit your full potential. And that's something that I really realize now. Like in college, I think I struggled with that a little bit, like handling criticism. But ultimately, it's that's what drives you forward. Like if you're getting pat on the back all the time, the needle's probably not going to be moving very much. You need people that call you higher and that want the best for you.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. And like at the start of like my first year in the Fed, like I had guys that would get on you about performing like even at practice and stuff like that. And like at first you're like, yeah, like okay, and like you feel sorry for yourself, like you said, but you really have to like now, like after year three or whatever it is now, like you're thankful for those moments and you're thankful for guys wanting to push you further because they know that you can perform better and like that should be a reality check for you that you can perform better as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think a lot of times you can like internally kind of take criticism as like a compliment, as weird
Yeah.
as it sounds, because if it's not a good sign if guys out there and your coaches like aren't talking to you. Like
Yeah.
you need that feedback to you know see what they're seeing from your game.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, like college was you went through ups and downs throughout college. Like what's that mindset like that like you're able to take into the pro game now, especially because you face those two harsh injuries that you really had to dial into the process. And at the end of the day, it is all just a process that you just got to keep going day after day and keep trucking along.
Yeah, man. I uh I really have always just kind of let my love for the game like carry me. I think that like in any athlete story, there's going to be bumps in the road, sometimes
Yeah.
even major bumps in the road, and when you just put your head down and grind and stay diligent to the process, I think that you come out on the other side of it just so much better than you were before, and it's really transformative that way. Like um, when you can take input and from people and put it into practice, or when you get knocked down, like you just hammer the things that you lack in, and then like suddenly things start clicking a little bit more. And but there's no magic pill for it. Like it's always, you're never going to escape the work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta keep going through the process through the love of the game, and that's gonna, like you said, push the needle forward, and you're gonna keep wanting to come back because you have that love for the game, and that's what's gonna drive you, and you want to play at the highest level that you can, so you just gotta keep coming back every day and keep working to get better every single day.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, but you spent 2 years of junior hockey with spent a year in the OJHL with Coburg Cougars, and then you spent a year with a year with or half a year with with Team Maryland in the EHL. So like what was your junior hockey like? What was your junior hockey experience like for you, and really going from AAA and really getting a deal with in the OJHL to start your junior career?
Yeah, so when I was in Wenatchee, we played in the NAPL, the North American Prospects Hockey League, and kind of the whole goal of like that league was to, like, your first or second year of 18s, getting a null tender signed. And I was having like some teams reach out, but nothing major as far as interest goes. So like halfway through the year, I talked to my coach there, Ryan McKelvey, about like opportunities in Canada, whether it be the SJ, AJ, OJ. Like I really wanted to just try to see if I could get out there if the NA wasn't going to be like feasible for me that year. And like right away, they reached out to some teams for me. I reached out and yeah, I just happened to like get on the phone with the Coburg Cougars head coach at the time. His name is Jerome DuPont, and he told me that they were having 5D age out and that there is going to be a real opportunity at camp for me to come in there and do a job and make the team. So it was like a no brainer. I got up to Coburg and like just such a first class organization. Like I got there in 2019, but in 2017 they had won the RBC, and like I could just tell right when I got there that there was so much pride in being a Cougar and like bringing your best to the rink every day, and that was a year that I feel like made me so much better and tested me a lot. Like I think at the start of the year, I really had to adjust to the junior game and playing against older, bigger. Like really, the East Division there is a pretty tough division too, and um, it was it was a year that really helped me kind of like mold into how I want to play on a night by night basis now.
Yeah, so like what like you had to obviously adjust like you said and like you're playing Canadian junior hockey, so obviously like the Canadians there are they've grown with the game just like and you're playing in the home country there of Canada. So like what was that adjustment there and then really transitioning for that development for throughout that year?
Yeah, that year, like I worked tirelessly with our coach Jerome on like foot speed and just like really trying to like use my length out there as a player. He was a taller guy himself and played in the NHL and the AHL for quite a while, and he taught me so much as far as like my stick positioning goes and just like playing my size and just being confident out there and not being able to not being afraid to cross the line at points, um, and be physically imposing. So I would say, yeah, those couple things, something he really ingrained in me.
Yeah, those are good things to have engraved in you, and just to really focus on that development and that personal development, and then obviously you're taking that next step and going to the EHL the following year with Team Maryland, where you spend like 12 games or something over there before going to Bethel. Like, what were those 12 games like in the EHL and playing for Team Maryland, which is a high organization in the EHL over there?
Yeah, man, like that was a crazy year, obviously with COVID. Like, um, so our season like had actually we just got bounced out of playoffs in Coburg, and then like a week later the COVID shutdown started, and so I was at home in Arizona all summer, um, figuring out what to do, because like I was set to return to Coburg for my 20 year, but it was really starting to sound like that they weren't going to have a season that year in the OJ, and they actually ended up not having one. So our U.S. scout for the Cougars sent a few of us to Team Maryland, and it was just kind of like a group of guys there that like we all had a chip on our shoulder. Like most guys were somewhere else the year prior, and um, with the situation, like it could have been really easy for everyone to just kind of like pout and be a what. And
Yeah.
thankfully, like we had so many guys in that room that were 20-year-olds and were just like very committed to attaining a commitment at the NCAA level. And um, you know like it was a grind though, for sure. Like no, like you play, there's like no one in the stands, like
Yeah.
you're not getting any juice from the crowd in that way. Like we had to get dressed outside, but there was a lot of like really good leaders there. I thought that just like allowed us to get better every day and really really just like drive the most out of ourselves, like with the situation that we were in.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird time, and like you said, like there's no fan energy. So like how important is like going throughout college and like playing throughout youth hockey with fans, college, pro, like how important is it to have fans and like a lot of guys feed everyone feeds off that energy as well. So like how were you able to like get that energy going when there were no fans there?
Yeah, honestly, man, like it. I just knew that I'm like, wow, if if I don't stay present here in this time and just continue to work every day, then like I felt like my hockey career could have been over, and like that was
Yeah.
just a daunting thought for me. Because I have always said like I'm gonna play until my hips don't work
Yeah.
anymore. I wanted to play so bad at the next level there in college. So I remember like at Team Maryland, they gave us all the resources though that year. Like there wasn't much to do outside of the rink, so we could, after our practice, we could stay out for as long as we wanted to. And um, I just remember like really being able to spend a lot of time at the rink and um, just move the needle every day in that way.
Yeah, and you're out there with the boys, like boys that are getting extra reps too. So you're all making it a good time, and you're not dreading being there for the extra time. Like you're loving it with the boys, and you're just enjoying a couple extra hours of ice time.
Oh, exactly, dude. Like I remember getting off the ice, like my mask would just be disgusting too, like from a few hours out there, and like
Yeah,
I spit a lot too, so I was rocking with the chin strap type
yeah,
of like that thing was never over my nose, that's for sure.
no, no, I don't think you could do that when you're playing.
No, no.
Yeah, but but like you're from the Phoenix, Arizona area, and it's like what was it like growing up in Arizona and playing hockey, going throughout youth hockey? Like when did you start? Like what really made you fall in love with the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was 4 years old and I went to they were called the Phoenix Coyotes actually at that time. Um,
Couple name changes later.
yeah, yeah. And Wayne Gretzky was the coach at the time, and I think they had like they just had a lot of good defensemen, like steady guys that I enjoyed watching, and I think Georges Larac was on the team then too, and there was just Shane Doan, obviously. There's so many figures out there that were good role models for me as a young kid, and like I stepped in that rink as a 4 year old and just loved it, and like I just remember telling my parents at that time like this is what I want to do for a living someday. I want to work as hard as I can at this and see if I can really do something with it.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. Like who would you say is like your inspiration? Like obviously you said Don, LaRock, all those guys, but like who is your overall inspiration?
Mm. Yeah, when I was when I was younger, Derek Morris he was a defenseman on the Coyotes, and he was pretty active in the Arizona hockey community, and spent a lot of hours with me, and just like I think you could just see the drive that I had for the game and the true like want that I had to succeed, and I can't thank him enough for all he did for me. Like I just he would like play a game with the Coyotes, and then his son was on my Pee Wee team, I think it was, and then like the next night he'd be out at practice with us, and like as you know, it's like the schedule is so busy at the pro
Yeah.
levels. Now knowing that, I'm like, wow, it was just pretty amazing of him to share his time like that, and he would work with all of us younger D, and yeah, he taught me so many things at a young age that I'll take with me forever, and just like how to be a man too. I thought he was really good role model in that way.
Yeah, that's huge to have a guy like that and a guy that's in the NHL and you still make the time for the community and everything like that. And you realize how important that is, like you said, in pro now, like just to be out in the community and like if a kid wants an autograph, like you were that kid once, so you take the time out of your day to give that kid an autograph. Like you learn so much about like when you're a pro that you're like, wow, like this is what like I thought of as a kid and like I now I'm living it.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like I I love pouring into the next generation and seeing their fire for the game. Like nothing gives me more life than when I see a young kid who's just like bagging himself at a stick
Yeah.
and puck. Like it makes me feel young again, and
Makes me
in a
want to
way
go and do it
it
too.
does make me younger, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me want to go bag myself as well.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Like going off of like the younger generation and like a lot of like younger players want advice. So like what advice would you give the younger generation looking to get to the next step, that next level and whatever their path may be?
Yeah, man. I would say like as a hockey player, you know, when you commit to that at a young age, that's what you that's the dream is like staying in the game as long as you can and try to push the envelope and make it as far um, as you can. Like you're gonna have to make some sacrifices that a lot of other athletes um, and a lot of other non-athletes like at your school per se that you're going to just aren't aren't gonna make. Like you know, you're gonna have to you're gonna miss some school dances. You're gonna miss parties because you have an early morning skate or you have a tournament on the weekends. And I think that like ultimately it's a blessing that you have something that you love enough to make those sacrifices. Like I know as a young kid, like I I didn't go to pretty much anything as far as like events from my school goes because I always knew that like I wanted to skate the next morning and be my best for that or um just like put myself in the best position to get better the next day and ultimately like it's not something that you have to do, it's something that you get to do. And I think that that outlook as a young kid will take you so far like in being able to push yourself and be a leader too because a lot of people you know like just don't like to do the things that are uncomfortable or make those little sacrifices that will pay such dividends down the road.
Yeah, and especially like the people that aren't hockey players are looking to get to that next level or they're comfortable with where they're at. They're not going to understand about the sacrifices, but like if you really want to push that envelope, like you said, and really get to the next level, to that next level, like you're gonna have to sacrifice stuff. You're like you said, like parties, dances, like just going to bed early to be ready for that next skate in the morning at like 6, 7, 8 a.m., whatever it is, like but you just need that time to recover and be your best self. Like not everyone's gonna get it, but like if you really want to make it to that next level, like those are the sacrifices you're gonna have to do and you're gonna want to do if you want to get to that next level.
100%.
Yeah, but like we've all been through those situations and like we still sacrifice stuff as pros like every day. Like you're still sacrificing stuff, sacrificing spending time with family, like stuff like that to get because we're still living the dream and trying to get to even if we're playing the Fed, we're trying to get to the next level or wherever you want to go.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, like throughout like Arizona, like you've had a lot of good like community outreach with like different players from the Coyotes. Like how important is that outreach from and just like having the Phoenix Coyotes, the Arizona Coyotes when they're a team in the NHL and then just like having a team in the NHL like that just drive youth hockey even more and drive hockey in Arizona even further.
Yeah, dude. I think it's so important when you're a young kid to be surrounded by people that influence you in a positive way and make you a better player, but also a
Yeah.
better person. Like I think um, your younger years, you have the opportunity to develop so much character and so much toughness, and when you're around the right people who are in the game and know what it takes, like it just kind of bleeds out of them onto you.
Yeah, exactly. And not everyone knows what it takes. Like once you have like guys that have been through it, like other athletes aren't other sports aren't gonna have the same thing to get to where they're at than you do. So like just having like similar guys like that to be able to walk through and like I obviously had no paths the same, but like you can learn things from one guy, take another thing from another guy, learn put that adjust or put that in your path and really like really like create your own path with it, but also like have a guy that's been through it and knows what you're going through because it is such a it's a mental sport as well. Like you go through it mentally, you go through it physically, and like it's a lot of sacrifice for sure.
100%. Like I think as when you're young, you're gonna hear like differing viewpoints and different stances on the game, like tactically, psychologically, and whatnot. And when you can when you can like take the good and bad of
Yeah.
everything you hear and see, um, it just it creates so many experiences for you that help you down the road. And like I'm so thankful for the people that poured into me when I was young, and like I'll just I'll never be able to thank all of them enough. Whether it's my parents or some pros that I was around, or college guys that had been in Arizona for a while, and then did the same thing we're doing now, like go and move on with a billet, and just dive into that journey of being a young hockey player.
Yeah, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs throughout the season. You're gonna some things are gonna break you, and then you're gonna have to come back stronger after that. But like we all do it for the love of the game, and it's all about like we've been talking about the process, fall in love with it, and fall in love with the grind because it is a grind. But if you fall in love with every single aspect, you don't see it as a grind. You see it as something you love to do, and you're gonna go through it every single day if you have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a few more questions before we wrap this episode up. Like, are you a music guy? Do you listen to music before games? And if so, like, what are you listening to?
Yeah, dude. I'm a big country guy. I don't
I am
really
too.
have like you're a big country guy too?
Yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really like put earbuds in before games. I kind of like to mingle with the guys, to a point. I definitely
Yeah.
am pretty locked in, but I like the down under country mixes.
There you go.
I'm a big SoundCloud guy, so I find a lot on there.
Yeah, you can find some good ones in that in SoundCloud and yeah, there's definitely some good ones. But like yeah, like my playlist is mainly country, but like it also goes from country to rap to pop to EDM. Like it has everything, but a majority of it is country.
Yeah, yeah, same here.
Yeah, whatever gets the juices flowing is what you got to go with.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've had quite a few good tilts this year. Like what have been some of your favorite tilts this year?
Um, yeah, there's been some good ones. I think we were playing Binghamton at home. I fought Jacob Shankar. That was a really fun one. Um, I kind of like black out a little bit during each one, so that one comes to mind right away though. Like the crowd was just electric that night
Yeah.
at McMorran, like it always tends to be. And yeah, that was a big. We won that night too, so it was nice to be able to give the boys some juice in that way.
Yeah, like what does go through your mind when you're fighting? Like when you black out, like what do you have like anything in mind that you're throwing or you just like just go toe to toe?
Yeah, just go toe to toe. Like I think like I play a pretty physical game, and I know that sometimes like especially at this level, like I'm gonna have to answer for it, and
Yeah.
I have zero issues with doing so. Like I enjoy playing that way, so that's
Yeah.
just give my best. Really, that's pretty much it.
Living on the edge. You gotta love a guy that lives on the edge like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my final question is like McMorran is obviously it's an older rink. So like how fun is it to play out of a rink like McMorran and just like your fan base and everything like that?
Oh, dude, I'm so grateful for the barn that we have, and the atmosphere that's created every night we play there. Like these fans are so passionate here, and uh, when you're just walking around Port Huron, like people will recognize you and just ask you about previous games or when the next upcoming home game is, and that like that people are really dialed into our season, which is nice to feel. And as far as the rink goes, like there's been so a few different pro teams that have rolled through there, and like so much history. I know
Yeah.
Elvis back in the day had a show at McMorran, which is pretty sweet. Like the Red Wings minor league affiliate team used to play out of McMorran as well, and um, I know the barn was jumping then too. So
Yeah.
uh,
It's a smaller rink, but it has a lot of history and like once you get that thing packed, like it's buzzing.
yeah, once you get that thing packed, like it the roof feels like it's coming off. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice
And
this year too. Like our owner Ken Andrews has put so much of his time and effort um, into the game day production. Like we do a pretty sweet like light show before the game, and some activities at the intermission, and it's like it's been special to be a part of.
yeah, you gotta love it when everyone pours money into it and creates something that everyone wants to come to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's a great place to wrap this episode up. So, B-Way, thank you again for coming on the show. I appreciate your time, and I want to wish you the best of luck with the rest of the season with Port Huron.
Thank you, brother. It was a pleasure to be on the show, man. Good conversation today.